on the trumpet / orchestra. And my brother Kahil over here on the flute. Kahil Murray. I'm Jeremy, so we're jamming out, making some noise, tell us to stop something.
Yeah, we ain't gonna stop either. So, Brill, again, enjoy yourself, enjoy the company. I urge you to share with other beings here who you are, what you do, what you're about. You're here for a reason, and we're all the same kind. So please share with each other. Nobody's stuck up here. Trust that. All right? You better speak. You don't play that. All right? So we're in Brooklyn. We're in the Star. This is not Clinton Hills. This is the Star right here. Get it straight. And just mix and mingle. And we got more performances on the way. Thank you very much for coming out. Enjoy yourself.
That band was amazing. It was really good.
It's the good. So please. Right. My brother just told me we got the biggie painting out there. That's a big deal. So please, while you're running around, take a look at the silent auction, bid on some of the goods. These brothers are definitely holding it down, you know what I'm saying, for the global block. And get a shish kebab. We got a lot of them over here. I know y'all hungry. Y'all ain't eating nothing in a couple of hours. So come over here, cop a ticket for my man, and then go get yourself a shish kebab, alright? Enjoy yourselves. We're gonna have some programming for you in a minute, alright?
And the rest of the Lefferts Place Collective in the courtyard, please come to the courtyard. I definitely don't need a microphone in this small space. Y'all already know that. Beyond a shadow of a doubt. Not at all. But we're gonna do it for protocol, man. Well, first of all, man, I want to say thank you for coming and hanging out with us. Tonight is our kind of, let's call it a launch of a vibe, of a groove that we'd like to begin to see here in this beautiful space. And so first I want for everyone to just celebrate this beautiful space. If you haven't been here before, if you have, just round of applause if you think this is a beautiful place. Community, and that's what it's all about. And so this place is a beacon of hope for us, and it's a family connection too, directly related to my brothers and sisters. And so this is a place of community empowerment, and we wanted to start using it for some fun. They do programming here on Monday nights, and they have Jazzy Mondays, and they kind of have other kind of programming that they started recently. But the collective of the Global Block Foundation, working together with Wemadua Promotions and publications with Marlon Rice and a couple of the other family members, what we're trying to do is start our own normal, regular routine and vibe out of this place. So coming in the fall, hopefully we'll have a once a month Global Block mixer. And what we do have is, for example, some wonderful artwork from outside, donated. Mears One is a graffiti legend, and Charm is for me, is one of the pioneers in many ways in the hip hop community from Brooklyn. And so these cats are supporting us because they believe in what we're doing. And so I wanted to tell you a little bit about the Global Block and what we're doing. We intended to have some screenings of a couple of shorts, and we're still trying to work on that, maybe throw them up in the background, but technical difficulties being what they are, and this being kind of just informal, we might not have that. But I wanted to share a little bit about some of what we were going to talk about and what we're going to see. The Global Block Foundation is why we're here. It's a organization whose mission is to harness the spirit of creativity, innovation, and activism at the core of the hip-hop movement to inspire young people to become agents of change where they live in their communities. I had a conversation the other day with someone who said, well, you're talking a lot about hip-hop, but what if you're like not related to hip-hop or connected to the hip-hop community? And, you know, young George Martinez in the 90s might have said, fuck you, you ain't down with us. But the older George Martinez said, well, let's replace the word hip hop with urban art, and then we have common ground. Let's talk about the idea of remixing something from nothing, and we use the language of hip hop, but we understand what a remix is, and so we can still find that common ground even if you're not related to the hip hop or connected to the hip hop community particularly. So Global Block is doing that. This Sunday we're leaving, 4 members of the team are leaving to a 6-week, 11-city tour of Colombia. Not on 116 in Harlem, but the real Colombia is how we would say it in Spanish. And this is our longest mission. We started this 5 years ago, and working with members of the collective, with DJ Smash, AKA Mr. Jelani Mashariki. We've started to build momentum across multiple countries, started to build a vibration across the Americas of a tour called Push. Push. Peace, unity, and social empowerment through hip hop. P-U-S-H-H. Or in Spanish, Paz, Unidad, Desarrollo Social con hip hop. It's one of those cool, like, translates the same in both languages, which is rare. And so Push. But a lot of the work we do is around the war on drugs, or the so-called war on drugs. The so-called international gang trafficking, cartels, so all these things that relate to national security, but particularly from the southern borders, Central and South America. And we find ourselves in these communities on the front line, connecting as family through hip hop. So we believe that we are the pushers of positive hope, that we are the pushers of love, that we are the pushers of creativity, and that we can in fact push out of our community hopelessness, apathy, and economic distress. So that through using hip hop, we can create sustainable communities. And so that's kind of what we're celebrating tonight. You all know us from Global Block. This is not anybody stranger here from the online universe. I want to thank my friends for coming out and hanging and vibing and just grooving. The DJ, my man, Alonzo Martinez, my wife's cousin and her family for coming out, the Guerreros, Martinez's, Wanichigu, proud to be Garifuna. And thank you all for hanging out with us. Keep drinking, buy me a drink. Yeah, there's no reason not to. We're in the neighborhood, so if you get too tipsy, you should be able to get back home, not too far. But if it's cool, before the band rock out, I'd like to do a poem, if that's okay.
That's fine. Yeah.
Now, most people know me as a hip-hop MC, as Rhythm, ready in the heat of the moment, R-I-T-H-M, lyricist, rapper, rapero. But it's about words. And you know, there's a good amount of us to share words, positive words, but I want to share some words about what I see and what's happening. And if you bear with me, I'm going to do something called a freestyle poem. So this is spoken word, but without the words. Y'all know what freestyle is?
Yeah.
No. I'm saying, like, you might think that repeating something you thought of earlier or wrote it is freestyle. That could be a conversion of it. Like, I hadn't thought about this all day. I had no time to think about it. Whatever you feel, whatever I feel with you right now, I will, in fact, give it in a poem. And I'll try my hardest to make it cool. But let's go for Brooklyn. Yeah, they say that poetry got these people feeling vibrations like roots. They say that poetry got cats feeling elated like mountain tops. They say that this thing called hip hop is some ghettoized version of the language that we choose to use, and let's just diminish that, push us under the rug. They said that Luke Skywalker would be the end of hip hop. They said that 2 Live Crew, with your face down and ass up, would just roll over it. See, Dolores Tucker took steamrollers at Times Square and rolled over our discs. They said hip-hop wouldn't last. They say poetry was where it's at. They say poets are so vulnerable that you can feel their spirit as they use these complicated words and phrases and cadences and breathing schemes. I prefer hip-hop and rap because I can get past that BS of something that was fruitopian to me, and I can tell you just like it is, or what it's gonna be. For me, historically, the best part about poetry was, in fact, the tree. The poet was interesting, but the tree was better. The tree helped us to live and to grow and to find fruit, but the poet was taking words and giving them back too many times. And I just got sick of it. And so I decided that I hated poetry. And I would stick to my roots as a MC. Now, you would be mistaken to call me a rapper because rappers offer candies and Christmas gifts, and I am neither of those. I am, in fact, a person who can move the crowd, microphone control. A master of ceremony is the historical root of that phrase MC, but it comes from somewhere else. It comes from somewhere else that the poet told me was so soft and fuzzy that I left feeling good. But that grit in the city streets told me everything wasn't that way, and so the poet just didn't vibe with me, and I needed to be an MC just so I could be heard in the streets of Brooklyn, New York. Just so I could be heard as I cut the lunchroom line. Yeah, you got something to say? See, I didn't want to become the total poet package because I just wanted to be free from the pretentiousness of this sort of fruitopian exercise in words, or what I would call verbal masturbation, because it just keeps coming around and around and around and around, but there's just no climax. There's no nut. There's no orgasmic moment the way I felt when I first heard Public Enemy said, "We got to fight the power that be." There was just no climactic moment when I heard Tupac say, "Dear Mama." And so I leave these words that in poetic flow sometimes come back, and sometimes we know, and sometimes, yes, my enemies can grow, and sometimes my foe can become my bro. And yes, sometimes indeed we see with speed the path that we need to take tomorrow, but we can't because we're trapped by chains of sorrow from past pains that was given to us, and still sometimes we remain here just to claim the space, just to be the flame, just to be in your face. That's why I love hip-hop, because I can and will be right here. And you may not like me, but that's cool. And you might in fact want to diss me, but stand for yours, because now we're going to get into a battle. You got something, and I got something. That's love. This is my love poem. And we might not meet again, so as the words just trickle off, and as we drop down, and we come back and wrap around to the front forward and return again, remember, I ain't even put one piece of ink with a pen to a piece of paper. Just wanted to kick it. Now, this might not be really that prolific. It might not be that deep. It might not even be that really generally specific to the needs that you have in your mind, but I guarantee that if you look deep, you'll find the science in these rhymes transcend space and times, cross lines that we put ourselves in to separate from each other. It's not the American dream to kill your brother, cutthroat, cock block, player hate. It's all part of that process called individuate. Believe that, seal your fate. That's why we're here to resuscitate. Now what? Y'all got beef with words I choose to use to express my anguish? Man, I can speak proper English. And Ebonics. Poco Español too. I could even speak sign language just for you. There's many different ways to express that point of view. The whole point of these these lines and madness is to tell you to break through those mental chains that been holding us like handcuffs, connecting us to each other in the back of the bus. There really is no difference in our game. MC, poetry might look different, but the bottom line is the same. I love y'all.
People expressing themselves how the way they feel is a beautiful thing without being disrespectful for the other individuals. Real quick, before the band starts again, I'd like to say thank you to my cousin Slow Motion and all my cousins that's working tonight to help us put this thing together. Cousin Quelly, my cousin Torre, Prophet, Junie. I know there's another Junie who's the DJ.
Junie!
I just want to say a couple of things and how we came up with the name Global Block. First and foremost, at the turn of the century, at the turn of the new millennium, 2000, I took a trip to Senegal, Dakar. It was a study abroad program. I was able to get in the study abroad program. That was crazy. Like I qualified. That which in itself was a challenge. It was a good mark for me in my life. However, when I went to Senegal, now I preface it by saying, you know, we travel. Most people travel. They go on cruises. They go on family trips and all those things. But when you start traveling as an adult, things are different. So I went there for the first time, my first adult trip, and all of a sudden, all the young people in Senegal, they were on me for my do-rag, for my CDs that I had, for my Timbos that I had, and they was telling me about Tupac and Big. And I was like, oh, word? Like, y'all know about them? Y'all feeling these cats? It was like, yeah. They had tapes and all of that. So then I went out to a basketball tournament that they had out there, which was similar to the Rucker, where all the basketball stars in Senegal played. They had the music, the same format as the Rucker. They had the DJ, had the announcer. So I was looking, I was like, oh man, this reminds me of my block. So I made some connections with some brothers out there from Goree Island. Went to the Door No Return, went to Lock Rose, and all with these brothers that I met there. Not separated, I separated myself from the other students that were studying with me, and I went with no fear to different communities in Senegal, in Dakar, outside of Dakar, in the tenements, all by myself, which, of course, your teachers tell you not to do that. Traveling groups, safety, passport, I had none of that. But I felt safe. I was assured by the brothers there that I was good. And they made me believe that I was good, and I'm standing here today to say that I was good. Then I took a trip to see George and Clara in Moscow, Honduras. Brothers there, same way, treating me the same way, treating me with nothing but love, family. Then George and I started going on these expeditions with the State Department, meeting people in Nicaragua, El Salvador, Guatemala, Bolivia, Peru, Belize, Panama. And we started to understand why it's the global block. Everywhere you go is the block. Has its elements of the block. There's the love of the community, people sharing, people working together to be progressive, to make their spaces beautiful. You have people doing other things that are not positive, that are still members of the community. And everybody lives together and everybody shares. So, seeing all of this, we said, you know what? Global block, that's what it is. Wherever you go is the block. Wherever you go is the block. You have your grandmothers that watch the children while the other parents are at work, nanas. You have your people that take care of the gardens, your different workers. Everybody plays a part on the block, but they all live on the block. Everywhere you go in the world. Everywhere you go. And we're just fortunate enough that agencies have seen our work and want to share what we do. Children. The first thing that we did when we was in Nicaragua, we was in, what was he in, Marcha de Ocho, son? What was that? What was the name of that gang?
Oh, Mar 18.
Yeah, that one. So, we're with the State Department. We have one police officer with us. We roll up in this van in an area that clearly the police have not been in. So we step out the van, and as we do, we start mingling. As we're mingling and just talking with the guys, like, where y'all from? You know, well, they're talking in Spanish. They ain't saying where y'all, you know, they're saying in Spanish. Yeah, all of that. And I'm like, I'm from Brooklyn. George's like, yo, I'm from Brooklyn. And the reception was great. The reception was great. And the first thing that they said was, y'all are good. But next time the police come up in here without y'all, they're gonna have a problem. The police have to ask permission to come over here, to do anything over here. And this was in Managua, Nicaragua. So I said, I saw the police officer, I said, yeah, you better ask for permission next time, right? That means y'all need to bring us here more often. Then, that was that time. So then we did some programming with the kids. We did some graffiti. They already knew graffiti. They knew rap albums. We did some performances with them. We allowed them to perform. Then one of the main key concepts that we like to preach is individual sustainability. So one of the things we said was, okay guys, we see you got a lot of graffiti around here. If you take that same graffiti and put it on a shirt or put it on a hat, now you're in business. Now you can actually be productive for your community and bring some resources to your community. Let alone if you go down to the local shop, the internet shop, which I'm not going to say everyone knows, but in a lot of countries there's these cafes, there's internet cafes, and that's what the children use to communicate on Facebook, Que Pasa, what was the other one, what? High Five. So, if you then take pictures and you upload them, now you're in global business. They understood this, and they are now putting those little nuances into play. There was another town called Leon, Nicaragua, which is the center point of the Sandinistas, who was the revolutionaries in Nicaragua. We pull up on their block. Not only does the local corner store, the local bodega, allow us to plug into their electricity, but they shut down the street for us. And this is Nicaragua. the people there really don't like Americans like that. Okay? So we had the Sandinistas coming with their bullhorn. They heard the Americans was in town. With their bullhorn, trying to come down the block in which we started a block party on. Don't you know the people on that very block cut them off with their own cars and said, nah, you're not stopping this event right now. You're not going to bring that down here. We enjoy this. This is what the kids enjoy. So I say all that to say this. If you consider yourself part of the hip-hop generation, and I consider myself part of the hip-hop generation, and if you're around my age, then we are the ones who basically help push this forward to the mainstream, okay? When I was younger, we didn't call it hip-hop. You breakdance, you DJ, you MC, you did graffiti, and you had knowledge yourself. Those were all independent of each other. You did all of those things, or you did multiple parts of those things. But it wasn't called hip-hop. It wasn't called hip-hop. There was a point where Africa Bambaataa codified the terminologies and called it hip-hop. From that point on, people started understanding and identifying rap as hip-hop. Rap is not hip-hop. Rap is a part of hip-hop. There's many different parts of hip-hop, like I said, and people need to understand that and appreciate that. In other parts of the country, in other countries, they appreciate all the elements. The lost element, though, is knowledge itself. And that's the main element that we harp on in Global Block. So I'd like to thank all you for your support here. Understand that this work is continuing around the globe. We've been to about 15 countries already doing programming with the United States. And we're going to start doing some programming with the United Nations. The Plural Plus Awards is a youth video festival that we'll be hosting. We also have Global Block Awards that we're giving out there in partnership with the Plural Plus Film Festival with the UNAOC. So I always tell George, it's not about how many people come, it's the quality of people that come. And I see that we have a lot of quality people here. A lot of quality people here. So I want to tell you that we appreciate y'all 100%, and we appreciate your support. Keep on supporting us. We'll support you. This is the beginning of a mixer that we're going to have every month, which we're going to start calling the Global Block Exchange, in which people come, exchange their ideas, exchange information, exchange who they are with everybody else that's here, okay? Nobody's, I said it earlier, a lot of people like to be stuck up. I don't play that. We don't play that. Ain't nobody bigger than nobody. Everybody is human. Everybody is human. If you got love for human beings, then you got love for Global Block, and Global Block got love for you. And if there was somebody to come fly from outer space, I'll tell them to have a drink, got something to say, come speak on the mic. If you don't know how to use it, I'll show them. It's about love for beings. Everybody. We're all the same. Nobody's greater than anybody, nobody's less than anybody. Everybody is out here struggling. But the most beautiful thing about life is doing the things you love with people you love. And that's what life is about. So I want y'all to continue enjoying yourself with individuals that you have love for. I love you. So if you don't think nobody loves you, I love you. We love you. All right? You know what I mean? So that's my cousin Moshe, y'all. Kojo right there. So just a final point before I get off, just to show you how we all connected. So Clara tells me her cousin's gonna come DJ at the function. Cool. Her cousin comes in, he introduces himself, and I introduce myself. It's all love. But then you know what he says? Oh, I know Kojo. So off the bat, he already knew my cousin. So already we was connected. Off the bat. And that's how simple it is. That's how simple things are. We are all connected. We are all connected. When the community cries, I cry. When the world cries, I cry. We must all remember that fifth element of hip-hop, knowledge of self. Knowledge of self. Know thyself. If you know thyself, then you can help others. And love thyself. You can't help nobody if you don't love yourself. We are all beautiful people. Love yourself, peace, enjoy, global block to the end. You already know what it is. I'll holler at y'all later. Drinks, food, everybody enjoy. If you got something you want to say, come talk to me. We get you up on the mic. You want to present something, it's all love. I get you there. It's not a problem. You know what I'm saying? One time. My name is Jelani, Global Block Foundation member, Global Block co-founder, and this is what it is. From your block to my block. From the east side to the west side to the north side to the south side. You already know. All right? Peace, y'all. Enjoy yourselves.
Yeah! Everybody, this is Jabril and Federico. Satish. Jassi. This and the brother over here. Kahil, flutist. This is a good cipher, but I want to introduce my man right here. 1996, I started an organization called Blackout Arts Collective, and from that kind of, there was a network of folks that came up in the second generation. One of his brothers his name is Timothy Prolific Jones. He's a writer and he's a promoter, and he started to kind of, wanted to bring together people that he knew that had really immense talent, and a few years ago he started working with this brother right here. At least 5, right? At least 5. Oh man. And so I know I heard his name a minute ago, a few years ago, and he was on the come up, but I'm really excited that he was able to come out from the city today and be with us in Brooklyn. I want you all to give a real warm Brooklyn welcome to my man So Soon.
Hey, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
All right.
Hey, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Yeah. Like, it's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday, and then it's the weekend, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, we gotta have more energy in that. My name is So Soon, which is an acronym for Sound of Something Out of Nothing. I'm a hip-hop artist. I'm gonna get straight to it. I look young as shit. I'm 28 years old, so let's get that out the way real quick, all right? I'm gonna do 2 joints really quick. I'm gonna do one without the band, and I'd be honored to rock out with y'all. You know what I'm saying? So, damn. All right, so I'm gonna do this joint called Bobbleheads, right? The idea behind Bobbleheads is that we got all this technology. Like, right now I'm unemployed and I still got 2 phones. You know what I'm saying? We got all this technology though, right? But we be on a train moving back and forth and on the buses, and we don't pay attention. Like the human interaction has become lost as a result. And so, you know, this song is kind of based on that. I'm gonna give you a forewarning. There's a little section at the very end of this song. Don't get offended. It's all just a state of mind. All right? And it's call and response, and so when we get to that point, you'll catch up on real quick, because I know y'all are very intelligent people. So it's like this. It's a long way from here to where I'm going, so I'ma plug in, tune out, and start zoning. I don't care about the panhandling or the homeless. I just wanna plug in, tune out, and start zoning. Allow me a moment of your time. I am hoping you don't mind. From the moment I arise, all I hope is I survive between the slowness of the ride and uncontrollable grind in my mind. All I hear is engine number 9. Well, looking inside from outside of NY, many think that the inside of a movie, but to the on the inside, ride the ride daily. It feels more like a game answering the Call of Duty. And so we plug in, tune out, plug in, tune out. Big headphones are in, gotta squeeze the juice out. AC ain't working, so this train is mad hot. And my feet straight hurting, cause I stood for mad stops. Playing musical chairs to obtain a better spot, while the elderly are standing in the patientless squat. Well, some alive, some are dead, some are green, some are red. Summertime, sun don't shine underground for bobbleheads. A long way from here to where I'm going, so I'ma plug in, tune out, and start zoning. I don't care about the panhandling or the homeless, I just wanna plug in, tune out, and start zoning. And so we plug in, tune out, plug in, plug in, tune out. You know what I'm saying, what I'm saying. Plug in, tune out, plug in, tune out, plug in, tune out. I got my dead head side now. My weekend at Bernie's is the music in my iPod. On my daily journey on the iron horse, I divorce my entire thoughts from the outer world. I, of course, view this as a minor loss. I get off when I get off, it feels like a release. Moving from out of the bowels to the belly of the beast. Say peace to the money hungry junkie smelling funky yet. Somewhere in the clouds, I bet God thinks it's funny. Yup, we don't want to hear ordained trained ministers kicking Jesus game like a champagne distributor. Out she goes, in comes the Asian selling cinema. Out with one and with the next. Now here go the kids with the assortment of candies, fundraising for their teams. Orphan Annies, yeah, as crazy as it seems in a city that seems to never sleep. Well, I perform Inception on myself to the beat. Sweet dreams. It's a long way from here to where I'm going, so I'ma plug in, tune out, and start zoning. I don't care about the panhandling or the homeless, I just wanna plug in, tune out, and start zoning. And so we plug in, tune out, plug in, tune out, plug in, tune out. You know what I'm saying, what I'm saying. Plug in, tune out, plug in, tune out, plug in, tune out. Well, it goes left, right, up and down, 360 all around. Move your head to the sound. This is how it's going now. Headphones, bump into your iPod, it's dead homes. If it dies, close your eyes, go to sleep instead, zone out. Cause nobody cares about anyone anymore. If you so much as glance at somebody, evidently you're threatening, cause oral efforts of discourse are effortless. Communication exists only through tweets and text messages. Fuck the Mexicans for playing all that mariachi shit. Fuck the drummers who just want to show you what a hot beat is. Fuck these bums, I can't stand their illegal handling it. Fuck the noisy kids, I can't handle it. It's a long way from here to where I'm going, so I'ma plug in, tune out, and start zoning. I don't care about the panhandling or the homeless, I just want to plug in, tune out, and start zoning. One more time, plug in, tune out, plug in, tune out, plug in, tune out. You know what I'm saying, what I'm saying. Plug in, tune out, plug in, tune out, plug in, tune out. Cool.
These people, because y'all all look like very beautiful people. But nobody believes me when I say this, but like off stage, I'm very shy. Performing for me, I've been performing for like 10 years now. Performing for me is like an on and off switch. So when I'm on stage, it's like so soon. When I'm off stage, it's James. And that's, you know, like Jelani said, we're all human. We're all equal. Nobody's bigger than anybody here. So I try to always tell people when I'm not on stage, I'm James. During the day, I do what I do just like we all do. So, you know, if I seem a little standoffish or whatever, it's not that. I'm just really shy. So I'm going to do this next song. I'm going to be out your way. This next song is called The Underclass. And the reason why I wrote this song is because, you know, here in New York, we're known as the city that never sleeps. But we don't pay enough homage to the people who keep it awake. And essentially everybody sitting here right now is the underclass. I mean, unless you got a condo out here in the regentrified Brooklyn, you know what I'm saying, then, you know, you may not be part of the underclass. But I'm going to assume that most of us are because we keep this city moving, you know what I'm saying? So, Dan, y'all can play something real, like, you know, smooth, jazzy, funky, a nice tempo, you know what I'm saying? The actual song is slower, but I noticed that with a live band, it rocks out when you go a little faster. So that's it. I like that. I like that. Don't want to jump in, bro. Don't want to jump in. You was going in on that flute.
goes out in the heart of Manhattan. And never see the city settles down for an action. Somebody's gotta empty all the heavy metal basket. Separate the people from the sea of yellow traffic. Sweep the trash of the upper working classmen. Scars from the broken champagne glasses. Whatever happens, he handles it fast. Cause while we play the money, sets the right out on the back end. You barely see him cause he's not European. When something needs cleaning, it's the only time you see him. You don't wanna be him, his work is complicated. Your hands are too smooth for a job, so degrade him. But he stays on his shit, no complaining. To you, he's just another spit nigga. But to me, he's courageous when you're working for a minimum wages and never spend a moment aggravated. He should be congratulated. New York City, nice, bright lights, pretty sights. Somebody's gotta keep it looking all pretty when the city's at a standstill. They keep it moving, it's a fucked up job, but somebody's gotta do it. New York City, lights, bright nights, pretty sights. Somebody's gotta keep it looking all pretty when the city's at a standstill. They keep it moving, it's a fucked up job, man, give them something quick. Indian communities, African immigrants looking for immunity. Say what you want and they don't care about scrutiny. All they care about is a better opportunity. While you and me complain about working every day, they taking our jobs and doing it for nothing. Cause when you come from nothing, a little equals something. He maximizes minimal, minimizes consumption. He nurtures his children, cares for his wife. Cause all he cares about is a better way of life. He lives within his means, he gives what he receives. He goes to work the same every day for fatigue. The city's still awake while everyone is sleeping. He sleeps in the day and awakes in the evening. He never falls out. Vacations an illusion. It's a fucked up job, but somebody's gotta do it. New York City, nice, bright lights, pretty sights. Somebody's gotta keep it looking all pretty when the city's at a standstill. They keep it moving. It's a fucked up job, but somebody's gotta do it. New York City, nice, bright lights, pretty sights. Somebody's gotta keep it looking all pretty when the city's at a standstill. They keep it moving. It's a fucked up job, man. Where you at? Right now. Last verse. This goes out to the caboose conductor, the transit authorities, the housekeepers, 90% of them minorities, the homeless musicians, the talentless beggars, the optimists and poppies at the one-stop bodegas, busboys, bartenders, yellow cab drivers. We still show them love, even though they pass by. The nurses and nannies who did with little white kids, the project janitors who work upon a night shift, the open mic hosting, the open mic performers, the open mic attendants who stay just to support us. The dudes from the 12 hand in hand on the corners, the MTA employees, the background, the aura of the never sleeping city, the apple is poor, the folks who go unseen, never honored or ignored. Take a look at history with the allure of New York, like the mountain, like the farms, where the comma for the walker. New York City lights, bright lights, pretty sights. Somebody's gotta keep it looking all pretty when the city's at a standstill. They keep it moving, it's a fucked up job, but somebody's gotta do it. New York City nights, bright lights, pretty sights. Somebody's gotta keep it looking all pretty when the city's at a standstill. They keep it moving, it's a fucked up job. Somebody's gotta do it. So my name is So Soon, like I say, I appreciate your time. And if you like what you heard, I have a website, it's SoSoonMusic.com. And just so you don't forget, I have a small gift for everybody that's in attendance this evening. I have one of these green armbands. I call it a bandwagon border pass. This is the title of my first album, The Bandwagon Director's Cut. This armband gives you perks. I just started a residency, a weekly residency at a spot on West 4th called Gizzy's Cafe. I'll be there every week performing, doing a 20 to 30 minute set. I'll be bringing up other artists, live band. I would love to speak to y'all, have y'all come out. I'll be bringing live band now. I'll be bringing spoken word artists, singers, hip hop artists, so on and so forth. And what I did this week, at least for the first week, is the first few people to come in with their armband on get a free drink on me, a glass of wine or a beer. You know what I'm saying? There'll be other perks with it. So I hope that when you take this, look, I'm not working right now, so I hope that when you take this, you treasure it. Don't throw it out. Make sure you use it because it's a real movement that I'm trying to build right here. SoSoonMusic.com. When I step off this stage, my name is James, okay? If you choose to call me soon, that's fine, but you can call me James. Global Block, thank you. Have a nice week. I hope you enjoy the show. I hope you keep coming back to support this wonderful organization. Thank you.
time here? Is everybody in a peaceful mode on a daily basis, on a moment-to-moment basis? Okay, we're going to have a good friend stop up here. Hi, my name's Paul Slatkus, and we're going to broadcast this on goodnewsplanet.com. So let's hear a lot of energy. Let the whole world realize how good we all have it, because the world mostly, in most situations, is living in peace. Okay? Everybody's peaceful here? Look, yes! Peaceful here. That's good. Peace is from within. Okay, we have Ambassador George Rhythm Martinez, the founder and chairman of Global Black Foundation, and he's doing some really nice, wonderful things, especially uniting the world through hip-hop. What's up?
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Peace. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is the Honorable George Martinez. I am an official U.S. Cultural Ambassador for the United States of America. Just returned home for 3 days ago from a 6-week cultural diplomacy, hip-hop diplomacy mission to Colombia. And it was very intense, 6 weeks. And what I wanted to share with you all is, A, some of your tax dollars actually goes to doing really cool and innovative things. So don't be 100% angry at where your tax dollars go. I'm living proof, and the work we do is available online. But more importantly, I wanted to share with you a little bit about an intergenerational cultural phenomenon called hip-hop. Most of you believe that you know something about hip-hop because you know a little bit about rap music. There are 5 original elements to hip-hop. The reason why we're intergenerational and global is because we have 5 original elements. For us, the DJ is the percussionist. For us, the messenger is the MC. For us, the hieroglyphics, the person who does hieroglyphics that expresses the communications of the young people in the communities are also confused and called graffiti artists. We also have our dance movements, our hip-hop, b-boy and dance, but the 5th element is the element of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. It is our shared values, our beliefs that we can change the world one block at a time, that we can actually the fosters and growth mechanisms of peace and prosperity, that we in fact have the keys to survival for tomorrow, and that we are building sustainable cultures and futures today. We do this through hip-hop. We do this through love. The Global Block Foundation is my nonprofit organization, globalblock.org. You can find out more about us online, but I'd like to share a few words with you in the style of improvisation. This is called freestyle, and I like to do it in the form of spoken word without a music. So let's do 3-minute spoken word rap, freestyle, improvisation style. For today is the day of celebration that they say we calling out for freedom. I'm only trying to say 2 or 3 words to my loved ones like, hello, have a good time. Hello, I'll see you later. Hello, you're doing just fine. But somehow they want to slay lives and they call it justified murders. Somehow they want to kill us and the families, and somehow they see us with burners and they get nervous because the words that we use is so potent. And yet sometimes they just think we're joking, baggy clothes hanging loose on the corners and sale. We struggle to survive. I seen it in their eyes. You ain't seen it in their eyes. You seen it on TV, and all they feeding you is lies. I crossed the world and came back again, looking for my family, my next of kin. We ain't even gotta be blood, we just share universal truths, and sometimes we care to raise our fist in the hands of unity. Sometimes we take over this world, sometimes it's just you and me, and sometimes we walk like for miles and days, and sometimes we just sit back and think about ways to enhance the system. We call it remixing, y'all. To enhance the system, we call it revolutionary, y'all. Sometimes we just get stuck in the box. Sometimes they try to sell us all these things like Glocks. Sometimes the words from songs be dumbing us down. Sometimes if you critically listen to that sound, sometimes you will see that bubblegum is truly that. Sometimes you will see that Christmas gifts are the things for raps. Sometimes you will see that an MC means move the crowd. It's a 5th universe in the elements, and I say it so proud. I traveled around the world and I'm from Brooklyn. I traveled around the world and I'm still looking. I'm looking for the family that will unite and take peace. I'm looking for my family will rise like yeast. Sometimes irritated to the infection of the status quo. Sometimes you see me, sometimes you might not know who I am. I'm that cat in the back. I'm just doing this for my people. This is called a humanity rap. Peace, my dogs. Where my dogs at? Yeah. Peace, love.
Let's hear it. A lot of energy, a lot of passion for good. George Martinez. Give him one more hand, or many more hands. It's beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you, brother. That's good stuff. That's great. That's the passion that the world needs for peace and for loving, for caring. So this Peace Day has actually been around since probably man and woman were created. We should always be peaceful since the early days of our human existence. Okay, so we're